hip hop is rap music. Completely false, 100%. There are many myths that get repeated, especially during February, during Black History Month. So let's take a look at the top Black History myth. Hip hop is rap music. Now, I shouldn't laugh. I used to believe that myth too. And I'll just tell you my personal story. I started breaking, most people call break dancing. In the community, B-boys, B-girls, breakers, we call it breaking. That's what the original term was. That's what we use. I started breaking when I was about 15, 16 years old. And when I went to college, I met some more breakers. And one guy specifically, his name was Buddy. He knew a lot more about hip hop than I did, specifically breaking. And I was talking to him and I said, isn't hip hop rap or something like that? And he says, man, you got to learn your history. Hip hop is not rap. And he was serious about it. He was like, look, as a breaker, you have to know the history. And he started to get into like, what is hip hop? And he explained that, rap music, that's specifically nowadays, rap music is just an industry offshoot of hip hop, but it does not encompass hip hop. Rap music by itself probably represents 20% of hip hop. But hip hop is so much more than just rap music. Let's look at the foundational elements of hip hop. You have MCing, which most people call rapping. That's what most people know about because it's always in the news. You got, your Kendrick Lamar and your Drake beefs, all that stuff. We also have breaking. That's the dance, the tutting, the breaking, the head spins, all that. That's the dance. You also have graffiti. The physical artwork, the expression through different mediums. Most people are familiar with it on walls, but it goes beyond that. It's an artistic expression of the hip hop culture. You also have DJing, the instrumental, back in the Bronx in 1973. DJ Kool Herc, he would take the tracks and he would mix them up. He had his sister Cindy Campbell there with him, helping getting the tracks ready, and he would loop them together. He would just go boom, and put them all together, and that's how hip-hop started, looping the music together so that the B-boys, the B-girls, the breakers there would go off. And then the MC would come up and hype up the DJ. And it was just all feeding energy into each other. That was the DJ's role. Super important to hip-hop. Without the music, we don't have hip-hop. Another important element of hip-hop, one that's constantly neglected, and this developed later on, but it's probably at least equally as important as the music, knowledge. A lot of people don't know what hip hop is. I remember I was in a class doing a lesson about hip hop history and teaching kids how to use the different elements of hip hop. And one kid said to me, like, that's not what Drake talks about. That's not what Rich Homie Quan talks about. That's whatever it was. They don't talk about that. They don't speak for the B-boys, for Hong Ten, for Roxray. They don't speak for the DJs. They don't speak for Grandmaster Flash, the taggers, the writers, the graphers. Now, if you're thinking, hey, Ken, that's some weird stuff. I didn't realize the message was that deep. I'd like to do more. You can check out the description below for some awesome activities that go into hip hop history and how to combine it with language arts to engage your students and to connect with them culturally. Now, with all that said, let me ask this question. How are you going to use hip hop to engage and empower your students?